G'day viewers. One of the community members asked me to make a tutorial about getting a really big train up a really big hill. 14556.1, 14,500 tons, 96 vehicles, 1.1 miles long. I think that qualifies as the really big train. San Bernardino to the top of Cajon Pass summit. That qualifies as the really big hill. Now, it is actually quite easy to do if you know the tricks. If you don't know the tricks, you might struggle. So I'm turning on the gauge lights, turning on the generator field, come down here and turn on the headlights. Now we need to talk about Banking Comm. Banking Comm is a special facility that's just for this game. It does not happen in real life. In real life, you have what's called distributed power units, where through your screens, you set them up to drive however you want them to drive. You're the engineer. G'day lady, how are you? But in the game we have Banking Comm, so let's turn that off by pressing the push to talk button on the radio, PTT. From now on, anything that we do with the reverser, the throttle and the dynamic brake will be copied to the locomotives that are not directly connected to this locomotive. So up the front of the train here we have 4 locomotives that are directly connected, and down the back there's a whole bunch more. There might even be some in the middle with a train this long. That is possible. Alright, let's release the train brake. Get our reverser into forward. Couple of big honks on the horn. And now we're going to start her powering. Let's get it into notch 3. Should be fine. And once we start building some power, which we should in a moment. There we go. Once that starts to build, I will release the independent brake. So I kept my independent brake on so that we don't go rolling backwards because we are on a gradient here. There we go, we're starting to move. Now, even though this game doesn't simulate coupler breakage, I do recommend that if you want to drive realistically, you take it easy. Don't just slam the thing into notch 8. She's really not going to like you if you do that. Just be gentle, slow and gentle. That's the way to go. We can turn off the infernal bell. They are annoying. Alright, now that the whole train should be moving by now, we can start to notch up. There's not a huge amount of point to it here because we're in a yard and we've got a speed limit, but let's just take it up to, well, I was going to go for 4, but the rail driver skipped 4 and went for 5. That's fine. I was just going to go up to 4. Very good. Right, so that shows you how to get them moving, which, you know, it's not very hard anymore. In the earlier DLCs, it could have been quite difficult to get a long train moving. This one's got really good realistic setup on the brakes, and the train, when you get into it, I'm just going to throttle back now. We're just going to go down to 2, because I don't want to go too fast. But this one, the brakes are already set up, so the train brake is on a minimum application, and the independent brake is fully applied. And that's how you would find a train if you were coming into it as an engineer on the road. Alright then, now that we're moving, I will come back when we've hit the steeper gradient. See you shortly. Well viewers, here we are, most of the way up the pass, and we've just cruised up at 19 miles an hour in run 8. No issues whatsoever. So that's really all you need to do. Just remember to set Banking Comm on and let her rip. Now, in adverse weather conditions, you may need to keep a bit of an eye on it because you might get some wheel slip from time to time. You can use sand using the lever, or you can use sand using the switch and just turn it on and leave it on if you like. It will eventually run out, but it takes a long time. In snow you might have some problems, but in the rain you should be fine. Anyway, that's it for this tutorial, so hope that's been helpful to you. And if you've got any questions, chuck them in the comments. See you later. Subscribe and like. Don't forget that. Bye now.